new information has surfaced about the Cuban crisis. How close it was. Like how close it was.
I actually heard that.
So I'm going to read you a story of it. This was Saturday, October 27th in 1962. So in the middle of the Cuban crisis. The Americans had found that they're building the missiles on Cuba. So they were at DEFCON 2, like high alert. So they were barricading the island, like the water around the island, and they were ready, like, get ready with the missiles, like this could be go time.
Right.
So in that time, the Russian had placed 4 submarines with nuclear torpedoes on it, equipped with nuclear torpedoes that's as powerful as the Hiroshima bomb.
Mm-hmm.
So one of those submarines was B-59. That was one of 4 submarines. So that submarine gets... The Americans find that submarine because it's hiding deep in the water. So they found that submarine. And they drop like low-depth bombs to like warn them, like, surface now, we found you. And on that submarine, which was built for the Arctic, the ventilation had broke because it couldn't handle like the tropical water. So down there, the conditions were terrible. It was like 45 degrees down there, even like 60 degrees in the machine room. And even like the air in there, like the carbon dioxide, has started to make people faint and stuff. So when they dropped those bombs, and they didn't have radio contact either. So when they dropped those bombs, people in the submarine like thought, oh shit, we're at war now. They thought down there that they were at war. So the captain, his name was Valentin Savitsky.
Great name.
He ordered his crew, like, all right, prepare the torpedo with the nuclear. Like, think about it. It's a torpedo that can do the damage like in Hiroshima.
Right.
So he got his crew to prepare the torpedo. And for this torpedo to fire, he needed approval from the political officer in Moscow. So he got it. The political officer in Moscow didn't think about what other people said in Moscow. They were against it, but he was like, no, do it. And if this were to happen in any of the other 3 submarines, they would have fired. But on this submarine, of pure luck, there was another the commander of the entire flotilla was on that submarine that was getting exposed. And his name was Vasily Arkhipov. Vasily Arkhipov. And he refused to give that order to fire. So imagine, this was all about pure luck. Because if it wasn't one of the other 3, they would have fired already. And if they would have fired, that would start a full-out nuclear war. And he talked that captain out of firing the missile, and they surfaced, and they waited for order from Moscow. That's how close it was.
This is a book?
This is like a paper that came out after because all these papers are surfacing now after the Cuba crisis.
The problem is that's wrong.
Why?
Because the X-Men stopped the Cuban crisis, because I saw it in the movie.
Dude, when I read
First Class, X-Men First Class.
Yeah.
I saw the movie. They showed you they're the ones that helps, but they had to keep it under wraps because watch it's in a movie, dude. Why are you laughing at me? So I'm sorry, but
I hear you.
You got bad intel.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's documented. It's a movie about it. Yeah. The X-Men stop.
All right, maybe they did.
It's awkward, I know, but it's.
All right, that was awkward. I just spent time.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I feel so bad. He doesn't realize.
Yeah,
like,
you were holding it in.
I was holding it in. I was like, I don't want to cut him off. He's cooking. I was like, let the man cook. So.
No, when I read that story, I was like, that's how close it was. Like, imagine, by pure luck, they had another one on there. Like the commander of the whole flotilla. Like, if it was in one of the other 3, full-out nuclear war. Cuba wouldn't be here. That would be gone.
Would you miss it?
Cuba is close to here. This would probably not be.
Bahamas would be fine.
We'd
put some rum on it. Jack Sparrow would still cruise through. We'd be all right.